Hey guys, Mike here. So, oh boy, what a day in the market, and it looks like the market's like, inflation, who cares? We don't even have to hit it anymore or come in under. And if we come above, it's all good. So now we're widening the range. So that's important to note today, because if you didn't notice, we're going to talk about inflation, where it came in at. And actually, as I told members, came in hot. Normally that's a bad thing, but not today. Okay, and not today. And remember, we don't get PPI till Thursday, so tomorrow there is no economic news that should mess with the market at all. So we'll see which way they want to grab liquidity. We'll go into that. Some important charts to look at as well. But I'll tell you right now, I mean, this was the CPI data, right? Comes in and it's over. You know, normally this would absolutely send markets down, okay? But it did not. So, of course, core inflation month over month comes in 0.4, so it'll be 0.3. Core inflation rate, the headline, 3.8 versus 3.7. I will say the headline month over month came in line with the expected. Year over year was higher. And I love something one of the members put in the Discord. It just says, if you don't eat, drink, drive, and happen to live in a tent and take out other higher costs you don't like, such as insurance, then there is little inflation. Which I love that. Because if you look right here and you take the services minus housing, and this is kind of like considered the super core, right? Well, you can see that right there, plain and day, is going up. Okay, and so, and you get this little rounding bottom going up, and so it's definitely not coming down, that's for sure. And you know, this is minus housing. This is the services part minus housing, and so we'll see what these numbers continue to head, because they've not gone down since we started 2024 at this point in time. And of course, the Fed wants it to go down, right? And when you look at this right here, where is it? Auto insurance is definitely one of them, and I can tell you right here in Florida, that is for sure the thing, man. Auto insurance is getting really expensive. Same way our housing insurance here as well. And you look at different areas for sure and see where the increases are still happening. And I'll tell you a certain little story here, that I'm not an electrician or anything, but I had to have my water heater replaced because insurance companies in Florida get stupid about things, right? And so they come up with all kinds of things. If your roof is X amount of years old, we won't insure you. If your hot water heater is this amount of years old, we're going to increase your rates astronomically, or we won't insure you, right? And they keep doing that, and they just keep coming up with this list, okay? Because there's very few insurers in Florida. Most people go through the state here, because most insurers keep fleeing the state, because it's just a money suck is what it is. But I had to have my water heater replaced, and it's working just fine, by the way, so it really upsets me that I had to do that. But I went with the tankless, you know, because my neighbor did it and everything. He loves it. Well, I didn't realize you have to have that rewired, right? Because I don't know anything about that stuff. What's crazy is I go to Home Depot with the electrician. He made sure, he said, you have to go with me. You have to go with me. I said, no, I'll just give you cash, man. I trust you. Nope, got to go with me. The reason why he wanted me to go with him is because when we saw the prices, oh my goodness. Like, if you would have asked me beforehand before that job happened, which one's going to be more expensive? The wiring by itself and the little breakers you need and the installation part, or the water heater and all the labor? I would have said the water heater and all the labor. The wiring and the 3 little breakers. Mostly the wiring, though. Holy moly. I mean, and we went with the cheaper wiring, not the fancy wiring. The fancy wiring was going to cost almost $1,300 to $1,400 by itself. So, I mean, I couldn't believe it. That's why if you go to Home Depot and they have all that wiring locked up, like the employee told me, that's because everybody steals it now, because it is so valuable. He said, this is millions of dollars you're seeing right here. That wasn't the case 3 or 4 years ago. That is the case now. And so, boy, oh boy, can you imagine wiring a whole house? How much that's got to cost? And you can get it cheaper. By the way, if you do this, by the way, make sure you go to a supply company before the job ever starts. It was early on a Saturday, so the supply business wasn't open, so we could have got it a little cheaper, but still. Unbelievable what copper and all that costs. Holy moly. Let me know if you've experienced that in the comments. Now, what is the market expecting, right, when it comes to this as far as Fed rate cuts? Because this is the data they're going to be looking at, okay? No rate cuts in March, no rate cuts in May. They're expecting a 25 basis point cut in June, pause in July, cut in September, November, pause in December, and then down to 3.6 on the Fed funds rate by all the way December of 2025. So they're expecting to still be above at least 3.6, or around 3.6 out, what is that, a year and 8 months, 9 months, whatever it is. And so, you know, keep in mind, please hit that thumbs up, because it helps people find this video. And if you like financial content where somebody does not try to make themselves seem smarter than they are and talk over your head, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. All right, moving on. The narrative for the market to move was, oh, we're going to get rate cuts, and that's why small caps are going crazy, all this stuff. Well, that narrative's totally shifted, and the market's kind of like, whatever, we're good. We'll just keep moving up, right? And so now we're coming through earnings season. We're about to be done with earnings season again, right? Which I just did a members video on showing like this is why you saw IWM move up so much, right, in such a quick amount of time. Is that going to be able to continue? A lot of money rotating in the S&P, okay? That's for sure happening. You can see it because of the percentage of stocks above their 200-day moving average has now eclipsed the NASDAQ 100, and it's been a long time since that's been the case. And then, of course, IWM kind of just staying between 53, 56% right now, right? That's where it is. But, looking at this just real quick, what are we at? Still in a channel, still in an upward channel. Nothing's changed, no trend changes, nothing like that's happening right here. Big green day today, still above this 5-day moving average, which is pointing upwards right now, okay? Looking at the Qs, or we'll go to NASDAQ composite because there's a lot more stocks in it. You can see this right here, below its all-time high right there, but still in an uptrend. If you pull out, you can plainly see that is a channel above the 5-day moving average as well. So we're going to keep that simple. There's no trend changes or anything happening right there right now currently. And when you go over to IWM, you can see some people call it a false breakout above that level right there. But again, what you have to keep in mind on this one, this is below the 5-day moving average, but that is a big level at 210. It's a huge level at 210. I mean, you hadn't even hit it since like April of 2022. And then above that, look above that. Okay, so that is a huge level. I don't know why people are shocked that actually pulled back. But, we'll keep an eye on it, see if we can get back above that 2023 high right there. And it can move up very quickly, but we'll have to see. And things to keep a watch on, the dollar, right? The dollar is coming back into this trend line. We've seen multiple bounces off this. It's been selling off since, which the market has loved after we came up into that fair value gap we talked about a long time ago. And so we'll see if we get a pop, start to move up. But again, dollar is green, yields were green, market didn't care today, okay? Inflation came in higher than expected, it didn't matter. HYG, smart money, what's it doing? Nothing, right? It's just going sideways, setting lower highs, but it's not setting lower lows. And again, it's just consolidating. Now, the thing to look at is we've seen this in the past. Right there, you see that. We'll pull up the SPY, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. What you need to look for in this one, which of course means I'll tell you. You can see they're diverging, right? Like HYG just going sideways. SPY is going through the roof, all-time new highs every week it seems like, right? And we've seen this last year, okay? When we come over here, you can see plain as day, same thing. Consolidation right there. And then what was SPY doing? Rocketing. And then we got that sell-off for September. Or was it October, November, December, whatever it was? So we got that sell-off there. So we'll see. And this can go on for a long time. That's what I'm saying. I told you weeks and weeks ago, it's going for a long time, that divergence. So just keep an eye on it. We'll see if smart money is still loving this rally. Now, Nvidia, again, the stock that just can't stop. Look at this weekly chart. Look at this. I can't remember a stock that had a market cap between $1 and $2 billion that had a weekly chart like this in a long time. I'm trying to rack my brain. Let me know if you can think of a one with that big of a market cap looking like this. And, when you look at what's going on today, it was, man, I'm talking about call sweeps galore for SMCI and Nvidia, right? And I mean, it just kept going all day long. We're talking about millions upon millions of sweeps just to continue to push those stocks higher and higher. And, obviously that's what happens when, this happens, they rocket higher. And when you look over here, going back to this in the daily, this one, a lot of people are going to pick, I mean, usually 932 to 940 is where I think this thing is heading. That's where it'll actually hit this trend line if I extend it out right here. And if it gets above that, again, it's running up into that fair value gap to the left on the hourly right here. And so, if it gets past that, it's fine. I know a lot of people are going to ditch out of the stock because they're swing trading this thing like crazy up at these levels. And of course, we got things coming up like, PPI and all that good stuff. And another thing to watch on this one right here, if that is the case, this right here could be a sell the news event on this. Most stocks, this is a sell the news event. With Nvidia, I don't try to predict Nvidia because it has left short sellers in its wake. I'm not one of its victims yet, and I will not be. But this March 18th, 1 to 3 is when they're going to do this AI thing. And how many times have you seen stocks run up into their events and then they dump, right? And this obviously constitutes a big run up. Now, AMD is following along right here after a nice sell down. Filled that gap right there, almost, not completely, but almost. So about almost a 15% sell down. Finally got a nice pop today. And so, look at this one. I think a lot of people can say, wow, it'd be nice if it come down and test that 185 again, right? Before you get a nice bounce. And that would be a really nice support level because it would actually clear up a gap, fair value gap, and then hit a nice bounce from there. So that would be a nice area to look at if that weakness continues in AMD. One day does not make a trend for sure. And then looking at it, is it below the 5-day? Sure, it's below the 5-day moving average, sitting right at it. That's where it got rejected today when it started to move up. And so we'll see if this busts above it. And this is one of those ones when it gets below it, you get 3-5% sell off somewhere in there. And so you can see right there. And so we'll see if that's going to continue or not. You obviously want the 5-day moving average to start pointing up again to get this one going. Now, Shopify, watch this one because you are going to start getting this bullish MACD cross. This usually is a big mover when momentum shifts in its favor. It's one of those stocks, usually sometimes on a bullish MACD cross, even below the 0 line, you can get big moves. Then sometimes it has to get up to the 0 line to actually get that explosion. Once bulls take over, as you can see there, this is one of those ones where as soon as it crosses the 0 line, just dumped, right? Come back here, you get the bullish MACD cross, really nice move up right there. And so we'll see which one this is going to be. It's really haven't been doing anything over the last few weeks. And so I definitely would say watch your call volume on this, see if it starts to roll in and push this one higher or not. Airbnb, watch this one because you got that trend line looking for the third touch right there. If it does, it's been on a nice move up. It's another 10-11% up to hit that. So right around 185 right there if it continues to go. And it's been a really nice mover, and vacation stocks have been doing really, really well. I mean, we're in spring break where I'm at, and a lot of people are vacationing, man. Matter of fact, what's crazy to me is I know you talking about prices being high against inflation. I know couples that went on a vacation cruise down, I think it's the Bahamas or wherever it is, just to rent a cabana. Not a cabana, it's a cabana. It's got all it is just the little umbrella thing with 6 wooden chairs. You know how much that thing cost a day? $1,500 for an umbrella and 6 wooden chairs. I'm like, holy moly! And of course, they said they wouldn't have done it if they didn't have 2 other families with them. Here's what's crazy: to get into the water park, just a regular water park on this private island, $200 per person. And they're a family of 4. Can you imagine paying $800 to go into a water park? I love water parks. Would you actually pay that? Put in the comments. There's no way in green earth. I'm just going to, on general principle, I'm not paying $800 for me and my family. It'd be $600 for us to go in a water park. Oh, that is insane, man. That's insane. Oh my goodness. And so anyway, just had to rant on that one for a second. Disney, watch this one because you're in this consolidation, right? Even though it's nice little, it's trending there, but it's in this consolidation right here. Had a really nice move up, obviously, since earnings, since all the fiascos they were going through with Florida and everything else, and their movies. And with this one, very simple, guys. Just come over here, hit some horizontal trend lines right there. There's one right there. Here's another one right here. These are the levels you want to watch. So pay attention to 126. Pay attention to 117. Again, this finally starts to move out and break out. That's where you're going to head. And then also you can see right here, guys, perfect channel up. So the trend is up. That don't mean we're going to move down to the bottom of the channel. But right now it is in a upward trend. And obviously you can see by, this chart right here, that is a damaged stock, right? It's way down from its all-time high. So keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to earnings tomorrow, watch Dollar Tree. If you are in Dollar General, watch Dollar Tree in the morning. Okay, so I was telling one of the members, watch and see how they report and how they're treated in the market, all right? Petco, UiPath is going to be a high flyer, excuse me. SentinelOne, high flyer. Lennar's, the home builder, they've been doing really well. And so pay attention to those. No kind of economic data should affect the market. Watch 1 p.m. though. You do have a 30-year bond auction. And so if that comes in bad, you could see yield spike. If that doesn't go well, quick move down and then probably proceed to go back up. And so because you saw yields, they were up and the market was still up. And then that's what you get to see. I can't remember how the last 30-year auction went. But again, no economic news that should move it. We don't get PPI out till Thursday. That's one thing the Fed likes to look at. OPEX on Friday. So again, it's going to be extremely volatile. When you're up at these highs as usual, a lot of liquidity grabs up and down. You just got to figure out where they're going to go first and all that good stuff. I thought for sure today, I don't know about you, the market was up so high and I started seeing it sell off a lot right before the market opened. And then I thought it was going to pop and then drop again, but it just popped and kept going. So it just kept on going. So anyway, hope you guys got something out of it. Let me know how your day was. Hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Appreciate all you guys who watch and everything and share the videos. And I will see you tomorrow.